The EU's chief Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier today lashed out at the UK's efforts to seal a trade deal with the European Union. The Frenchman said David Frost's attempt to convey Britain's frustrations through letter was not an appropriate way to conduct negotiations. The rant came after Boris Johnson's chief negotiator with the European Union wrote to the bloc to complain about its substandard offer for the future relationship. In a letter to Downing Street, Mr. Barnier wrote, "I share your commitment to helping the process move forward together. I do not think, however, that an exchange of letters regarding the substance of the negotiations is necessarily the best way to discuss on substantial points. It cannot be a substitute for serious engagement and detailed negotiations and, in particular, I would not like the tone that you have taken to impact the mutual trust and constructive attitude that is essential between us." Yesterday, Mr. Frost accused Brussels of attempting to fob Britain off with a substandard trade deal, one that falls short of its offers to other third countries. It sparked fury within Mr. Barnier's camp, prompting an urgent and public rebuttal to be issued within 24 hours. Mr. Frost, the head of the Prime Minister's Taskforce Europe, yesterday published 12 draft legal trade texts in a bid to break the deadlock between London and Brussels. But in a letter to Brussels, he said the talks had stalled because the bloc had offered the UK a substandard trade deal. Mr. Frost wrote, "What is on offer is not a fair free trade relationship between close economic partners, but a relatively low-quality trade agreement coming with unprecedented EU oversight of our laws and institutions. We find it perplexing that the EU, instead of seeking to settle rapidly a high-quality set of agreements with a close economic partner, is instead insisting on additional, unbalanced, and unprecedented provisions in a range of areas, as a precondition for agreement between us." He said the bloc's proposal for a regulatory level playing field on state aid is just one particularly egregious example. "You must see that this is simply not a provision any democratic country could sign, since it would mean that the British people could not decide our own rules to support our own industries in our own parliament," he added. British negotiators published the plans amid fears that Mr. Barnier is struggling to grab the attention of EU leaders.